I'm Josh Bongard. I'm an associate professor at the University of Vermont, and I study evolutionary robotics. So it's a really exciting time to be in robotics. As I think most people know, in just the past few years, we've started to see drones and self-driving cars. So we're getting now to the point where we can create machines that don't necessarily think for themselves, but they're adaptive enough that they can get around in our world by helping people. So I think there's been a lot of advances in terms of simple robotics that's pretty exciting in just the past few years. So that's a good question. What is there that robots will never do? Personally, I'm of the opinion that there is nothing that they won't eventually do. The history of science has shown us that we should be humble. We used to believe that our planet was at the center of the universe and mankind sat at the top of some pyramid and animals were below. And as science has shown us, we're just one small part of a much bigger system. So I don't believe that we will remain as the only intelligent species on the planet. It's physical exercise, going for a run or a bike ride and literally turning my brain off and just going with the flow, and that's often when the crazy ideas bubble to the top, and then it's a matter of running back to the lab and writing it down, and then the hard work begins of actually trying to prove that the idea works. So the best piece of advice I've ever been given is follow what you're interested in and don't listen to people or yourself telling you what you should be doing. Which school should you be going to, whether you should stay in school, whether you should work. Listen to yourself about what interests you, because life is long. You want to have a job where you're doing something that you're really passionate about. And in my case, as an academic, it took quite a while to get there. But now that I'm here, I'm happy that I listened to that advice. I'm excited to go in the lab every morning and see what we've managed to accomplish since the day before. Again, this whole idea of not thinking too strongly about where you think you should go, you'll often anti-intuitively end up on the right path. Again, the advice is never give up. Especially when you're working in science or even in business where you're coming up with new ideas. 99 out of the 100 ideas are going to be, in retrospect, terrible ideas, but you have to get through 99 of them until you get to the 100th one, which happens to be the good idea. Most people give up before they get to 100. So I think back on some of our failed ideas that didn't work, and I cannot think of an example where we didn't learn something from that failure that ended up being a part in a future project that was successful. So in that way of looking at it, there really is no failure except giving up. Talking to people, looking at the world, looking at it differently, and then the creative ideas will come.